Yahawah, Ba'ashem Yahawashi, Ba'ashem Rachakodash. That's who this world really calls God, Jesus Christ, in the ancient Pele Hebrew tongue. I give double honors to the elders and apostles across the four corners of the earth who rule and teach well, raising up the tabernacles of David, seeking out the elect in these last days. Shalom to the hopeful elect. I have pushing this word and truth and sincerity. Shalom to the few Yahawah that watch and believe. And a big shout out to the head of Minute Edge Camp, Brother Kazak, whom I teach under. We'll just get straight into it, get straight into the scriptures, man. Going in how, we're gonna, let me see. We'll start with Job. Job chapter 5 and verse 6. It says, although affliction cometh not forth of the dust, neither do trouble spring of the ground, yet man is born unto trouble. All right. How are we born unto trouble, man? We're born into trouble because, hey, we're ultimately born into curses on this side, man. We're born in an unrighteous kingdom, and in our captivities, and affliction will come upon us on all sides due to us being, the Lord's chosen nation of people, man. Here, all right. And here we have our adversary over us, man. And he's the one that's furthering the affliction, Let me see if I can find it. I think that's in Lamentations. Let me see. Because this man furthers the affliction that we have to, that we go through on this side, man. Okay. He makes it all out hell for Israel, to try to live, in this world, man. Okay. Let me see. Is it a limitation? Let me see. Shalakia. What precept is that? Zechariah. Here we go. It says Zechariah 1 and 15. And I am very sore displeased with the heathen that are at ease. For I was but a little displeased, and they helped forward the affliction. And they help forward the affliction in all plethora of types of ways for Jake here on this side, man. With their justice system, their corrupt justice system, their deceitful schooling system, teaches our kids to not know the true history of this place and true history of America, and it waters down and dumbs down the enemy, which is Esau, Edom, They do things to help forward the affliction and keep them on high, man, because they think that this is going to last forever for them, man, that this place is going to last forever, But this man's kingdom is being brought down, man. But he has so much pride in his heart that he thinks that this kingdom is going to last forever, man. It's not. This is not a righteous kingdom. This is not a kingdom that is going about the ordinances of Yahawah Ba'ashem Yahawashi, man. All right. In Psalms 41:9, it says, their inward thought is that their houses shall continue forever, and their dwelling places to all generations. They call their lands after their own names. Okay, like I said, this man thinks that he's gonna be here forever, man. We're not. His kingdom is falling as we see right now. Okay, and it's falling. It's hastening right now. The Lord is hastening the prophets, and in the midst of this, Jake still got to go through sufferings and affliction because the end is not yet right now, man. Okay, that's why the scriptures say we're born unto trouble. Yeah, we are, but the Lord can easily, Lord is easily gonna destroy this place, man. Okay, but simple fact that, we go through certain things now to get to, to hopefully receive salvation on this side. We got to go about the afflictions and the troubles a certain way, man. Okay? In the book of Sirach, it says what? We got to take things cheerfully. Okay? Ecclesiastes chapter 2 at the top, it says, "My son, if thou come to serve the Lord, prepare thy soul for temptation, set thy heart aright." And thy heart meaning the mind. Okay? Why would he say set thy heart aright? Set thy mind aright. Why? Because we're constantly going to endure hardness and hardships, man. We're constantly going to endure afflictions on this side. It says set thy mind aright and constantly endure. And make not haste in the time of trouble, right? Don't make haste in the time of trouble. The Lord is doing things to us for us to stop and think and reach out to him for answers on how to go about things so he can guide us, So we're not supposed to be making haste in the time of trouble, making irrational decisions, and then you making decisions with the flesh, because you vexed out. You vexed because you being afflicted and chastened, man, So it says set thy heart aright, set thy mind aright, and constantly endure, and make not haste in the time of trouble. Cleave unto him and depart not away, that thou mayest be increased at thy last end. And whatsoever is brought upon thee, take cheerfully. I got some bad news today, And I was just thinking about how Esau has set up this society and this, the systems in this society and the devices here for Jake to ultimately not ever win or prosper on this side, man. I just got threatened with child support today, threatened woman threatened to go to the government on me. That was the exact words. I'm gonna go to the government on you. And these are the things that don't make this place a righteous kingdom, because things are all out of whack and upside down, man. They're all out of course due to Esau being over us, man. Okay. But you're gonna go through things, man. We're gonna be brought to a lower state. We're gonna have bad news and afflictions and troubles and trials and tribulations, man. But we gotta keep our minds stable, man, and pray to the Lord to keep our minds stable, man. Okay. We don't want to bug out in this time, because the Lord has to keep the spirit on us for us to be able to cope in the evil day to come, man. And if we're being changed to a lower state, and we're not setting our minds right, and we're not having patience, learning patience, learning how to deal with certain things, learning how to seeking counsel in the right way, making sure that the Lord is guiding you and you're doing what you need to be doing to move forward in whatever situation or whatever he puts upon you, So don't drown in your sorrows because of something bad happened, man. Instead, embrace that the Lord is putting you through something, because he's obviously trying to mold you and change something in you, man. So we got to put off weak nature, and that's something I've had to do as well. That's why I speak to myself as well. Got to put off the weak nature, man. It's 2 Ezra 14:14. Let go from thee mortal thoughts, cast away the burdens of man, put off now the weak nature. Okay. And we have to, man. You gotta look at things in life and on this side as nothing is yours. You own nothing. Nothing is forever on this side. So the things, any losses that you might take, you have to look at it like, man, this isn't nothing but a facade. This life right here is a test to make it to the next life, man. This life ain't real. Our kids are not even real, man. Our woman is not ours. Our kids are disobedient. The woman's out of course, out of place, out of order. I meant, this whole world is out of whack, man. We out here working thousands of hours and barely getting any ends to make ends meet, but we depend on the Lord for that, But all these things will take a toll on you, or will be set in front of you before you to attack your mind, man. Test your faith. The Lord might give you financial problems. He might take away your child. You know what I'm saying? Or you might have the woman leave you for the truth, or have your family disown you for the truth, man. But don't let it weigh you down, man. Verse 15, it says, and set aside the thoughts that are most heavy unto thee, and haste thee to flee from these times. Yeah, you're supposed to pray these things off, man, if they're weighing on your conscience. The heaviness of heart breaketh your strength, man, it says. Okay? So, roughly paraphrasing. So you don't want to have a heaviness of mind, man. And the Lord said you don't want to have the plague of the mind. Give me any plague but the plague of the mind, man. The Lord can torment your mind through vexation with certain things, man. If you're not doing the proper things to get your mind back in the spirit and not on your fleshly thoughts, man. It says, verse 16, for yet greater evils than those which thou hast seen shall be done hereafter. And this is some things that I'm experiencing right now, man. I'm experiencing some evils being done to me, man. Some all wickedness, man. And it's because I made a decision to, basically the Lord, Yahawah hardened my heart to make a sacrifice, man. And that sacrifice has caused the love of many to wax cold around me, man. Okay? And yeah, it hurts, but this ain't something that I'm about to dwell on, man, because we're in the time to, hey, man, you're gonna have to really just understand that, hey, these people are about to die, that don't believe, man. These people are about to perish, man. We can't inquire about the ungodly, man. We can't inquire about the wicked, man, the 2/3. They're gonna die on this side, man. You only have to be concerned about you now, And I'm talking to myself, and I'm talking to any brother this applies to. Whatever situation or loss that you're going through, that you might be thinking like, man, this and that, you moping around. Nah, man, get the fuck up, man. And I'm gonna say it just like that. Get your ass up and get back in that mode. Pray, fast, and do what you need to do. Okay, because war and prophecy ain't gonna wait on nobody, man. Yahawah ain't gonna wait on nobody, man. Okay? When once all these words is fulfilled, man, hey, he ain't waiting on nobody, man. Okay? And yeah, we gonna go through things, man. Hey, man, we gotta man up. The Lord is sharpening our minds, man. And I'm about to get that, actually. The Lord is sharpening our minds, man. Let me get that in the book of Isaiah. There's a word in Isaiah, Salaki, I'm tripping, that I can go in the blue letter and it'll break down. Let me see. Let's see. Hold on. I think it's. Let me see. So like, yeah. Matter of fact, I think it's in Hebrews. It's in Hebrews. Hebrews 12. Let's see. Hebrews 12 and 11. I'm going to start at verse 10. For they verily for a few days chasten us after their own pleasure, but he for our profit. So the Lord chastened us for our profit. Okay? Because the chastening is going what? It's going to correct us, man. That we might be partakers of his holiness. Now no chastening for the present seemeth to be joyous. So the chastening of the Lord is not going to be joyous, man. It's going to be fucked up. You're going to be put in some fucked up situations. Some situations you ain't never been in. Some heartbreaks you ain't never been in. Some cold moments that you ain't never been in, man. You're going to be rejected. You got to think about and reflect on Yahawah's walk. He was rejected, spat on, to throw things at, he was despised. So you're gonna have those same things from people around you. The Lord is gonna use people around you to inflict evil on you, man. Okay, to test you. All right. So when these things come to pass, man, you gotta brush this shit off, man, and keep it pushing, man. Take it cheerfully. It says, now no chastening for the present seemeth to be joyous, but grievous. Nevertheless, afterward it yieldeth the peaceable fruit of righteousness unto them which are exercised thereby. Okay? So it's saying that it yieldeth afterward it yieldeth the peaceable fruit of righteousness unto them which is exercised thereby, and the Lord is exercising our minds. Okay? Let me go to Hebrews 12 and 11. Okay, I'm gonna read it in the NLT. It says, no discipline is enjoyable while it is happening. It's painful, but afterward, Hebrews 12 and 11 NLT. No discipline is enjoyable while it is happening. It's painful, but afterward there will be a peaceful harvest of right living for those who are trained in this way. So what? The exercise, the Lord is training our minds, right? He's training our minds to go through hardships. Okay? So when you train somebody's mind, hold on, Salaki. You train somebody's mind, you look, to exercise vigorously in any way, either the body or the mind. Okay, you see that? An example, figuratively, to train. So the Lord is training our minds to be able to to be able to withstand the evil day. All right? Okay? Because the Lord is gonna have people bugging out in this day, man. All right? Okay? Let me see. Let me see. It should be when they say unto you, which one? Let me see. Salakia. Okay, I'm gonna read. Okay, I'm gonna read Ezekiel 21 and 7. It says, it shall be when they say unto thee, wherefore sidest thou, that thou shalt answer. For the tidings, because it cometh, and every heart shall melt, and all hands shall be feeble, and every spirit shall faint, and all knees shall be weak as water. Right? Every heart shall melt. Meaning, now, heart in the scriptures is your mind. It's not saying like your heart is gonna actually melt. It's saying that, your heart is gonna be at a vexed state, man. Okay? Your heart is gonna be, the Lord is gonna torment you, torment. Shalaki. It's gonna torment you, with your wrongdoings, man. Okay? That's what's gonna happen, man. But hey, these people out here that don't believe, they're gonna be tortured. They're the ones that despise us. They're gonna be tortured in this day. Their hearts are gonna melt. They're gonna be bugged out. Walking around vexed, confused, seeking for answers. And it's gonna be evil on whichever way they turn, man. And then they're gonna be able to look around and see that the Lord is who's dealing with who the Lord is actually dealing with, because it's gonna be crazy out here, man. Okay, it's gonna be crazy. All right, but yeah, we gotta put off the weak nature, man, and understand that the Lord is trying to sharpen our minds for that evil day. Okay. We don't want our hearts to melt. We don't want to be bugged down that day and not have the Spirit guide us and not have that stability, because what the scriptures say, wisdom and knowledge shall be what? The stability of time. And the strength of what? Salvation. Okay? And we wholeheartedly, believe that. Okay? This is Isaiah 33 and 6. And wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times and the strength of salvation. The fear of Yahawah is his treasure. Okay? So, hey, we pray that we have the Spirit upon us, you know, and keep the Spirit upon us. And we're not gonna keep the Spirit upon us being being in a weak nature spirit, man. Okay. Lord is exercising our minds through our trials and tribulations. Okay. We have to always remind ourselves that. Hopefully that was edifying. Until next time, shalom.